Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. It is November 12th, and today on the Sass, we're going to be pressing all things toilet paper. I've got to tell you, that's probably not one of the things I thought I'd have to have a conversation of, but every single year for the last 5 years of me doing a Sass, that actually has become a very popular question during the holiday season as how to press on toilet paper. Now, why we decide to do this only at Christmas time is beyond me, but this just seems the best time for the gag gifts, I guess. You know, the white elephants, those kind of things. Now, we're not going to overcomplicate this process. I have been all over the interwebs, and I'm going to show you the way I do it. Is it the right way? No. Is it the wrong way? No, it's not. But we're not going to add a billion steps to something that you're only going to take the piece off and throw it away. But first, as we do every single morning, here on the Sass, we say good morning to Miss Jody, who is behind the helm today. She is going to be running all of the controls. She'll be answering your questions. You hear that great voice from beyond. That would be Jody. If she feels that what you're asking, you want me to slow down, you want me to go over something, you'll hear a voice and you'll hear her say to me, Nikki, can we do X, Y, and Z? And so if you hear this other voice, that is who that is this morning. So let's do that very thing that we do every morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, you know, pressing toilet paper does not have to be a complicated process. And there has been this great debate over which brand is the best brand of toilet paper to use. I can't wait to show you this because I literally set out to go find different brands of toilet paper to just prove the myth, whatever it may be. We're going to talk about whether 2-ply or 1-ply is best, which brand is the best. I'll tell you, I've been using the Walmart one for the last 5 years. They make great white elephant gifts, and a lot of people are like, oh, so you have to use spray, or you have to use dye press powder, or you have to use thermal laminate sheets, or you have to use Oracle 651. And some of you just say, just sub the darn thing. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you what it is, and we're going to talk about it. So let's just get over to that thing over there. It's called the press area. That's our workshop space. I'm going to talk about the 4 kinds. So while we'll do that, let me know where you're from in the comment section. I kind of like to know where we're waking up to this morning. As you know, we are an East Coast, West Coast show with Jody and myself. So let me flip over the screen here because that's what we need to do at the end of the day. And you get to hear some humming along because doesn't everybody like to hear me hum? No, just me? Okay, good. And I hit the same one wrong every damn Sunday. Every Sunday I hit the wrong tab. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's move me over here. Let me see. Did I switch? Perfect. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay. So I will tell you, does brand matter? So at the end of the day, I'm going to let you guys make this decision. This isn't something I'm going to answer for you. I will give you those thoughts, but I mean, seriously, let's do the thing. Got to get so I could see your comments. I try not to read the comments during the lives. I will let you guys know that. It's not something that I typically do, but I know that this is such a crazy topic for you guys to make sure you share it over in the group too, Jody. Let's see, because this is quite the thing. There we go. There. All right. So here are the 4 brands that I'm using. I'm using a Walmart brand, the Dollar Tree. I'm using Quilted Northern and Charmin. Now, I know you're going to say, Nikki, the dollar store brand can also be Charmin. It is. It actually is 2 different types of Charmin, but everybody's determined to go get the $1.25 tree stuff. So I have 4 rolls. We're going to talk about those rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4. I never thought I'd have to go get so many rolls of toilet paper in different brands and make this more complicated than it needs to be. Okay. So what we have here, and yes, I do know the difference. This one with the butterflies on it, it's going to be kind of hard to probably see on the camera, but there's a pattern on here and it has butterflies on it. This is your Walmart brand. Okay. And then I have to look at the patterns on the sides. This one right here is your Quilted Northern. Now I want you, pattern is going to play a role in this whole conversation of whether or not which one is better than the other. This one is the Quilted Northern. This one, these two, well, I should say, these three right here are 2-ply. This is the 1-ply. Okay, this is it's very thin. It's a 1-ply. This is the $1.25 dollar store. We're just going to call it that. Okay, it's the dollar store one, and it is the 1-ply. It has really no pattern except it's got like just lines through it. This is their Charmin brand, if you will. So that's this one. And then this one right here is the Charmin 2-ply, and that has a different pattern altogether. Now, how do I do this? Well, first you need to have your transfer. Now, many people I've seen over on the interwebs have decided that you should be putting something on this toilet paper to make it vibrant. So to add to more vibrancy, what better way to make this whole debate than having something with the two hardest colors that we have to press in the sublimation, red and black. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but if you're going to see a problem in color, that's going to be, and of course, you know, Nikki can never find her scissors. Anybody else have that problem in their shop? Please tell me I'm not the only one. Oh, there they are. How many of us put down our scissors and then forget where we put them? Okay. So what I did was I went with the same 4 designs on this. And so this way you can make your decision based on what the camera's telling you. We're going to press these at 395 for 60 seconds. And let's talk about it. So the thermal laminate. Okay. Oh, there's some on this one. People have said thermal laminate. Now, thermal laminate will add a shininess to your toilet paper. I'm not about that. I really don't want to do that. The Oracle vinyl. So some people will press on the Oracle 651. They'll press it onto their toilet paper, and then they'll press on top of that. They'll sublimate onto that. The dye press powder. People will put dye press powder on their toilet paper and then press onto that. So I've seen the thermal laminate sheets. I've seen the Oracle. I've seen the dye press powder. We're going to just go with, let's just sublimate it. I want to show you what it looks like just sublimated. No additives, no extras, but I will tell you how I do it. And again, not right or wrong. So the print's going to bleed through the sheets, no matter if it's a 1-ply or if it's a 2-ply. I will tell you it's going to bleed more through the 1-ply than it will the 2-ply. Either way, what I do, we got to do this for a good comparison, is I will take 2 sheets and fold it twice so that you end up with a total of 3 layers. Okay. This is, for me, this is key. Why? Because the ink is going to bleed through the first layer and the second layer, and it honestly could bleed through the third layer. But what does that do? It's allowing for it to be deep, rich color. If I do just a single layer, you're going to be able to see that it's not as bright and vibrant. But if you do 3 layers and that ink is bleeding through all 3 layers, it's just making it more saturated in color. Okay. So we do this for all 4 rolls. We're going to just wrap this around here just to get that out of the way. And we do it again and again and again and again. So does it matter if it's 1-ply or 2-ply? No, it actually doesn't. You can use whatever you want. You also want to look at price per roll. If you're paying $1.25 per roll, it might be cheaper, especially if you're a couponer, right? If you're a couponer, you could get some pretty interesting deals on toilet paper. So you don't have to pay more than, $1 a roll. All right. Let's roll this out. Oops. Try to make sure you keep it all lined up. Do I pre-press it? Nope. Do I use butcher paper? Of course I do. I use butcher paper top and bottom. Maybe that's why. Oh, right? Okay, so this is the 1-ply. And you definitely know it's thinner. So you have to be a little bit careful, a little bit more careful. Could you do 4 layers of this one? You could. You absolutely could. Like I said, this does not want to lay out. I do find that it, with this, the single layer, I fight with it just a little bit more. Okay. Smooth it out. Crisp up your edges. Roll it. Okay. So now we have all of our stuff prepped. What I go and I do, because you're not going to be able to see it on the heat press, is, I don't think, let me move my camera over. Okay. We're going to just go over here, see if we can't see my mess that I've got going on over here on my table. Okay. So can you see my press? Perfect. You can, just a little bit. Let me move this over just a touch more. Wasn't prepared to show the press today. Okay, so you have your press. You're going to want to put butcher paper down. Now, I fold my butcher paper in half because this does bleed through. So I give it double the layer of butcher paper on the bottom, fold it in half. Okay. Then I take I don't even tape it. I don't even tape the transfer. So I unroll a little bit. And because I want to do this 4 times, I created enough space on my butcher paper so I could put 4 different ones. Now, do I want to do this at the same time? No, I don't, because of pressure and whatnot. Could I? Absolutely, I can. All right. So right now, I will show you the comparison stacked on one on top of the other. I just lay it. I add a little bit of a lip at the one side. That's why I do 2 squares. By adding the 2 squares, it just makes my area a little bit bigger. 1 square, I just feel like is too small. So I do 2 squares, and then I layer that 2 more times. So I end up with a total of 3 layers of 2 squares worth. Okay. And we're going to lay that down. Now we're going to take some butcher paper. We're going to put over top. Again, we're going to fold this butcher paper in half because it does bleed through. I mean, you're pretty much just subbing on paper, on paper, on paper. Okay. So we're going to drop it down. And I have firm pressure. So the firm pressure, will it work? Will it show me some rich, vibrant colors? I think you're going to be surprised as we get through this on the 4 rolls. I can't wait for you guys to see what the end result is. And I hope that this stops the great debate over which one is the best to use, whether or not you should be doing an extra process, which is unnecessary, and just sublimate them. Now, these are great for white elephant gifts, gag gifts, that kind of thing. Once you decide on the brand you want to use, just using the triple method of the 3 layers is going to be key in this whole conversation. Let me see what we got going on here. What time in temp? I missed that part. It should be right on the screen. It is. I have it at 395 for 60 seconds. And firm pressure. Okay, we're going to pop this up. Okay. Take it. I'll show you after this in just a second. I just want to line this all back up again. Okay. And just going to stick a pin in it. All right. So to speed up my process just a little bit, I am going to do 2 at a time on this one. I've already got it rolled out. And then we're going to do another one. All right. So now I'm doing the single ply and a double ply. I'll lay my stuff down. Add the butchered paper because we're protecting investments here. And then this way it speeds up the process and you guys can see what it is. Now, does it leave a lot of ink left on the paper? It absolutely does on all 4 of them. Not one takes better ink than the other. It's just because this is a cotton fabric. It's not fabric, but you know what I mean? It's not polyester. So it's not going to take and absorb the ink as if it were polyester. And that's why a lot of people will go to the extra added steps. When you go and see what we're about to do, you're going to see that it really doesn't matter because I'm using black and red, and I'm hoping it represents itself really well on the camera. And I'll show up close and some of my thoughts on this because pattern matters. I can't believe we're talking about pattern on toilet paper, but you're going to understand why in just a few seconds. Okay. Clear this off. Clear that off. Okay. Oh, got to save those papers because that's important to the conversation. Just roll it up. Okay. And what I'm doing right now is I'm taking a pin and I'm pinning it in. Okay. I'm just pinning it. Could you just add a double-sided tape dot or some double-sided tape on that flap so you don't have to pin it? You absolutely can. All they're going to do is if they want to use the roll of toilet paper is pull it off. So you don't have to add pins. I'm just doing that for the sake of this. You don't have to add pins. You could just use double-sided tape underneath that flap. And then you're good. You're golden. All right. Last one. I do want to show you something really quick while it's on the conversation. Let me move my... Okay. So this is where I pressed through a 2-ply. This is where I pressed through a single ply. So as you can see, the ink goes through even the 3 layers of the single ply right directly through. This is why I put 2 layers of butcher paper here because it literally bleeds right through that single ply. This is a double ply. You don't even see really anything on here, whereas the single ply you do. So double ply, no. Single ply, yes. And that's why I double up my butcher paper. Flip it over to a different part of the butcher paper. Waste not, want not. And that's a good thing of why we use butcher paper because bleed through definitely happens. It's not preventable. It's just part of the nature of the beast here. Okay. Start stacking these up. Yep. No, wait. Well, wait a second. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to everyone. Girl, I got 5 pairs of scissors and it's hard to find. I've got about 10 pairs of scissors and I can never find, or actually the 1 pair of scissors I know exactly where they are my embroidery scissors because I hide them even from myself. But it's because they're my embroidery scissors and my fabric scissors and I can't use that on paper. So that's the only pair of scissors I know exactly right where they are. Everything else, I have no idea. And I constantly am pulling my pinking shears because again, I hardly use them. So they're always in the same spot. Yeah. First world problems. Where to find your scissors. All right. We're almost done. Okay. Throw that away. Pull this off. Roll this up. Of all the things I thought I'd never have to teach, and that's how to press on toilet paper. But yeah, here we are. All right, here we go. So this is the Walmart brand. Okay. This one is the $1.25. Oh, come on. Use the scissors so it stops rolling. This one is the Quilted Northern. So far, do you see any like? And this one is the Charmin. So this is the, right here, this one is the 1-ply, I think. Hold on. I got to look at them. This one's the 1-ply. Okay. So this is the Walmart. This is the 1-ply. These, and these are 2-ply. So Walmart, this is the 1-ply Charmin from the Dollar Tree. This is the Quilted Northern 2-ply. And this one is the Charmin 2-ply. Now, when I tell you pattern matters, because even though this is a 2-ply, this is a great way. This one will remind you of a waffle weave towel. So because it has all of this pattern on it, it does play with the design, and it can make it look a little bit more muted because of this pattern. So I want you to think waffle weave when you're looking at the pattern of your toilet paper. Again, I can't believe we're having this conversation over pattern on toilet paper, but so this one is going to look a little bit lighter. It's not. You could just see the pattern through it. And I'll show you one.
No.
Yes.
Your light's a little bright, so we can't see. As soon as you put it close to it, it washes out the design and everything.
Let me see. How does that look? I just turned the light off.
I think it's just the because the toilet paper being white, as soon as any brightness comes towards it, it just does the washout.
Well, hold on one second. Maybe I got to do it this way. I'm all for changing things. Let me change the camera angle.
Back just a little bit. Oh, there you go. Yep. As you move in and out, it's starting to focus better. There you go. Now I'm going to go back to being quiet.
Nope, that's okay. So this will show you more of a waffle weave. Kind of, it's hard with this light. I apologize. It's hard with the waffle weave to show this. And this is just the pattern on this. I'll try to get close. You'll see it's kind of muted. It's hard to do with this light. I mean, I'm working on white toilet paper here, guys. So there you go. So that's what that looks like. This one is the Quilted Northern, which doesn't have as much of a pattern. So the color is going to look a little bit more rich, a little bit more vibrant because of the lack of pattern on the Quilted Northern. There's a lot more wide open spaces. So this one looks a little bit different. The $1.25 tree one, which I got to tell you is one of the bigger rolls. This pattern, again, it is slightly different. You could still see the pattern through it, but again, no issue. And this is the Walmart because it's got the biggest pattern space to put a pattern. Actually, it looks like it's the brightest or the more rich color of it. So I'm going to flip this down so you see again. Let me go down to my camera here and see if that. It's hard to see with this camera. I will show you a close-up version of this in the group. You'll be able to make your own choices. But if you're looking at it from the camera angle, you really can't tell the difference between them. And in person, it's even harder because I will tell you the Charmin one is probably my least favorite. The 2-ply Charmin is my least favorite because it has that waffle weave pattern kind of thing. And so it plays off the colors, off the shades, off the gradients, all of that. So that one would probably be not one that I would use. If it were me, I would probably say the dollar store one, the black isn't as vibrant on the dollar store one, but the Walmart and the Quilted Northern 2-ply absolutely work. This is a nice rich black. So let me show you the difference. I don't know if you can even tell. See, again, but can you still use the dollar store one? Absolutely, you can. I'm not going to tell you no. It's just, again, this one has more of a pattern, so it plays off the richness of the color. Whereas these two, which is Walmart and Quilted Northern, because their patterns are a little bit more open, more so on the Walmart one, you get more rich, vibrant color. Again, red and black play a huge role on your toilet paper as to which one you're going to use. But honestly, it looks really good. Can you please see how the other layers look under. Yes, I can show you. Now the question is why does that matter? Okay, I'm going to ask that question. Why does it matter what it looks like underneath? Just because I need to know the answer to that question, but I will answer it. So here's what it looks like. It doesn't. It doesn't matter, but I will show you. There you go. This is why I do 2-ply or 3 layers. Okay, so this is the top, this is the middle, that's the base one. No, wait, there we go. That's the middle. Yes. So it doesn't matter. I can show you what it looks like. Single layer. That's the single layer. The reason I do the double is because it makes your colors pop a lot more and it gives you more color, more richness to it. I was just curious. I couldn't figure out why you asked that. I can ask the questions too. All right. So that is the reason why I do 3 layers, because this matters when it comes to your richness of color. Purely curiosity as to why that was asked question, Patty. I wasn't sure where your brain was going. Line this back up myself. So can you do a single layer? You can. It's just not going to be as vibrant of a color. Whereas if you do the triple layer, it's going to be more vibrant color because that color is going right straight through. While with the 2-ply, it's not bleeding through to the butcher paper. The 1-ply, it absolutely bleeds right through to the butcher paper. But again, for something that's a gag gift and you want to sit and just fold a couple layers and try to get the best possible color without actually having to add any additives or whatnot, go for it. I think that that's the best option. I'll line this back up here for this particular project. Yep. You would not believe. And I mean, that's with all of these. Let me show you the dollar. Is this the dollar one? No, this one is. Nope, quilted. Oh, this was the dollar store one, the one I was playing with actually. So that was the this is the single ply you saw just now. This is the double. You know what? This will be a great comparison. So here's your, we'll undo this. Here is your double ply. As you can see, this last layer is harder. Nope, this is the last layer. Yeah, I gotta, your middle layer, which is weird. So it's harder to see. I gotta figure out how it's folded, but let me show you. Hold, please. There you go. There's a comparison as to why I pick 2-ply over 1-ply. And that's why the 1-ply bleeds through. There you go. Okay. Okay. So this is your 2-ply. You get less bleed through down through. This is your 1-ply. You can definitely see why this bleeds through. Could you go with 4 layers on your single ply? Absolutely. You absolutely can do the 4 layers if you want to. You can do 5 layers. All it is doing is every time you add a layer, it's just allowing more and more ink to make it look more vibrant. So if you're having problems with your color, maybe and you're only using single layer, maybe triple layer it up, and then you're going to get more vibrant colors. If you're on the fence here as to which toilet paper to use, any. Yep, I just said it. Go and use any toilet paper you want. Whatever fits your budget, go use it. I suggest triple layering it. It adds more color, adds more vibrance. Do you have to add a poly spray or DTF powder or thermal laminate or Oracle 651? No, you don't have to add any of that. I literally just took the black and the red, which are the hardest 2 colors in sublimation, and just sub them on toilet paper. So yes, you can just do sublimation. Then you're going to package it up in some cellophane. The cellophane candy kind of bags that you could go get from the $1.25 tree, you absolutely can get those. You put those in a cellophane bag, you wrap it up, tie it with a bow, and you're done. That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything fancy. So you've got a roll of toilet paper, you've got some sublimation ink and paper that you put into it, you got a cellophane wrap and a tie, and all in, you might be in, depending on which one you pick. If you pick the $1.25 tree, you might be in maybe $2. $2 for a roll of toilet paper that people are selling anywhere between $5 and $10 a piece. Some higher because they bougie. So really, it just comes down to whatever you can grab. Toilet paper is toilet paper, at least in this particular instance. You're not going to see too much of a color difference. You're going to see a little bit more vibrant on one versus the other. 2-ply is definitely the better one because you get more vibrant color out of it. Pattern matters. That's what this is going to come down to, is one with a more open pattern, you're going to get more vibrant color. Anything that has a lot of pattern on it, you're going to get a more waffle weave effect on it. So I just debunked the myth of that you have to use X, Y, and Z toilet paper versus X, Y, and Z toilet paper. I debunked the myth of whether or not you have to use all the additives. You don't. You just have to sublimate the thing. My only suggestion is the more layers you sublimate on, the better and the richer color. There you go. I just made toilet paper pressing simple. Let me get to the comments, see if there was anything in there that I needed to know. Bougie butts. Strange how to see the 1-ply has less in the middle and it did not on the last one. So this is actually 2-ply and this is 1-ply. So the 2-ply, and when I flip it over, this is the middle one, okay, on the 2-ply. Or the 1-ply. So this is 1-ply over here. This is 2-ply. And it's weird that the
so we can see down.
What?
Can you switch your camera so we can look down?
Thank you. So this is the middle of the 1-ply. This is the middle of the 2-ply, which is weird. And I think that's what Terry's getting at. The middle layer has less ink than the back layer, right? Because here's the back layer. This is the back one. So I can see that this, and for me, this one's darker than this one, and that's the back layer. It's weird that the middle layer is the lightest on both of them. Well, on all of them, really. But this one is your $1. This is a 1-ply $1. This is your 2-ply Walmart. So there you go. Toilet paper lives matter. And this is what it is. I will literally take these apart, and I'll show you that the ink on all of these papers are the absolute same. You still have a lot of ink left on the paper. So if that's going to bother you, then don't sub on toilet paper. So there you go. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what toilet paper you use. Use a couple different layers, and you'll get more rich, vibrant color. And there you go. Whatever works at the end of the day. So yeah, TP 101. There you go. Now you know. That's it for the day. This was one of those quick tutorials on how to press and sublimation, or how to sublimate on toilet paper. So go out, go sell those white elephant gifts. Know that you could just do it with basic sublimation, no additives needed. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. If you go back and watch this, let me know that you've done it and show me pictures in the comment section. We'd like to hear more. Until next time, Jody and I will see you on the flip side.